Every successful business evolves. And to keep up, you need a bank relationship that evolves too. When you collaborate with KeyBank, you don't get one-size-fits-all solutions. Our expansive team of experts across industry verticals wouldn't be here if you did. Always ready with bespoke solutions for your biggest challenges and opportunities. We know all businesses are different, and that's why we approach business differently. Reimagine business as usual. KeyBank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're so excited. We got another great guest for you tonight. We're excited to talk about time management. We're your hosts, Brian and Walt. How you doing tonight, Walt?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm happy that we have Lindsay Grady on. I've been looking forward to this one. This is a topic I don't think we really touched yet.
Oh, no, we haven't. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what information Lindsay can put out there for other payroll professionals to assist them with their time management skills.
Yeah. And that's a good point because we talk about it in passing maybe a little bit, but this is definitely a great topic. Such an important, like when you brought it up to me, I was like, oh my God, how do we miss this? Yeah. Right? But that's also the exciting thing. So welcome, Lindsay, to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I am good. I've been excited and looking forward to it too. I'm a fan.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing.
While managing my time, I found you guys and incorporated you into it.
Oh my gosh. That means everything to us. Thank you very much. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, the origin story. Like I said, I don't get tired of hearing these origin stories. Please tell us how you got into payroll.
Yeah, so I was a stay-at-home mom for years and babysat kids.
God bless you.
I decided at one point, okay, I'm done. My kids are in school. I want to start working. And I started through someone I babysat. They had their own accounting firm. And I started off as a receptionist. And it was a little boring at times. And my coworker did payroll. And I was like, well, what are you doing? Can I show me what you do? Can I help you out? And over time, it was like, okay, well, what's the next step? What's the next thing you do? And before you knew it, I was doing it all then.
That's crazy. And you evolved into that's nuts. And we always talk about how like
I'm the
you
last
need a
man
certain
standing too. They're all gone.
Oh no. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. We always talk about how people fall into it by accident and how crazy it is and how we need to be special to do payroll. So you're a special person to like have looked oh yeah, because after the first task, I'd have been like, well, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I think because I had been a stay-at-home mom for so long, like I was dying for something else to do.
Payroll's easy compared to that.
Yeah, it was feeding babies all day. Yeah, I'm over it.
That's amazing. All right, so now you told me a little bit before we got on about all the things that led to the time management discussion, right? Mm-hmm. So can you, and I'm not going to gloss over what we have on our notes. I'll come back to that, but I do want to just go right into that. And you were doing so many things at one time. Tell us about that. It was a little CPP, a little bit of this. Yeah. Frame that for us, because that's an amazing story. And
yeah, I'm still overwhelmed by it, and like I can't believe I did it. But you know, I last year decided, I was encouraged by a couple people, hey, why don't you try to go for your CPP license? I was like, okay, yeah. So in the summer, I reached out to my company and said, I'd like to take these classes. It was pay train classes through Villanova University online. And so after I registered, wasn't very long after that, all of a sudden, the company I worked for expanded and created a new entity, which would have payroll in that entity, but not all the payroll would be going. So in that process, our payroll manager and our lead payroll specialist both left and went to the new entity. And we were there without that. And because of this change, we then were converting all of our clients. Now, I mentioned I don't do payroll for my company. I do payroll for 200 other companies, restaurants, dentist office, mechanics, agriculture, everything. But we were moving to a new software. And so I took a class from September to December. And then beginning January to March was the second semester. And from January to March, we converted, with me leading a team, 173 clients from one software to another.
Wow.
And then that ended in March. We were like, we have to have everyone over by the end of the first quarter. And my classes ended like a week before the end of March. And the CPP exam was April 6th.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So CPP, a mom, leading the department, leading implementation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to breathe
we
and eat
lost
in between that.
Yeah, we lost more coworkers that went over to the new entity, and we were down numerous people during this tough time. We ended up picking up 3, but we didn't get them until I think they started like March 6th. So we were like, well, we're almost done at this point when we really needed the people.
Wow.
But we're grateful to
Wow.
have them. I'll tell you that.
Yes, but timing does make a difference,
Yeah.
and I get it. So how did you do with this all? How did you manage?
So when I did the first semester, great, fine. Come second semester, when the conversion was happening, I even paused on, should I take the second semester right now? Should I wait and do it later? And I reached out to our HR manager and just like people that are mentors to you. My old payroll manager, she's the only other CPP that I knew. So I was like, let me reach out to her. What would you recommend? What would you do? Went to both of them, and my HR manager just said, she held up her planner and she's, I live by this planner and schedule everything. And she said, I was a mom, I worked full time, and I went for my master's. And I just kept thinking, well, I also talked to someone else who is currently a mom to a 2-year-old, was working full time, going for a master's. And I just kept thinking, if they can do this, my kids are adults now. My kids are 22 and 19. I'm like, I don't have to do anything for them anymore. They're self-sufficient. But I just kept thinking, if they can do that, why can't I do this?
Absolutely.
I want this. I can make this happen. And
hey, this is Brent Skinner, host of Small Talk Window here at the Work Defined Podcasting Network. Have you ever wanted a short podcast to listen to during a coffee break of your workday? You've come to the right place. My guests dispense with the small talk as quickly as possible and settle into a meaningful conversation around the world of work.
I got a planner, and I would schedule out what days I needed to work late, because I did have this huge project at work that had to get done. And what days would I do the videos for class? What days would I do the exercises and calculations? What days would I do the quizzes? What day am I going to take off from class and just focus on something else? I asked my husband, I said, will you be offended if I schedule you in on my calendar? I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this if I don't schedule everything in. I did my best to stay true to that calendar. I think if I hadn't, I would have fallen behind. I just wouldn't have been able to catch up.
Wow.
After I was finally done and I passed the classes and got my paid training certificate, and then it was, okay, in 2 weeks is the CPP exam. And I was just exhausted. I was working 60 hours at work every week. And I reached out to people again, my payroll manager, my prior manager. I'm like, what would you do? I'm like, I feel like I need to take a break, that I don't feel that I got enough studying in because I was so busy with other things, but I hate to drag this out for 6 more months. And the next time if I took the exam would be 2023, and I was studying 2022.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to drag this out for 6 more months. So again, scheduling, I came home from work every day. I wasn't working the overtime anymore. I opened up my laptop, I turned on Pay Train and cooked dinner, and I sat there for 2 weeks every night. I played the games and did the quizzes on repeat. I didn't get 100 on them all, but I was passing everything. And I swear by that. I really think that's what helped me out in the end.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now I love what you said about what motivates you about payroll. Tell us about that.
Oh, that's funny. Have you ever done the Clifton Strengths and found out your strengths before?
I don't know if it's that one, but I've done. You're right. It is fun. I was talking about that with a good friend of mine who's a head of HR, and she brought up a few of those tests. I think I've done them in the past.
So I pulled it out because I was curious today. I'd been thinking about it for a while. I knew my number one is I woo. I'm a wooer. I will make everybody like me. But number two was a developer, and I was looking into it, and it said a developer developing someone else and seeing their potential and helping them to achieve. Like, I find joy out of that. I know I've had a coworker before where I said, I'm going to make you an amazing payroll specialist. Like, I am determined to make you an amazing payroll specialist. Like, having your coworkers be amazing, that helps you out.
It does.
That makes your job easier.
That's right.
So, yeah, I do love to see other people grow and learn. We had someone that just didn't understand how to calculate the taxes. And I could see when I reviewed her work, I could see where she was trying to do things and she could figure out one. And I said, hey, how about, do you want to Zoom and I'll go over this with you? And she like got it. I enjoy that.
Nice. So teaching helps motivates you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And now, so I want to jump back to the time management stuff because it's fascinating how you've managed to do all these things. And what do you think are the most common struggles that payroll professionals have with time management?
I think for us, I know because we don't just do our one, and I often wonder when you guys do payroll for a company you work for, you have one payroll every week or one every 2 weeks, something. What are you guys doing all week long? Because we have 30 payrolls every day that we have to accomplish every day. I'm like, I've never done it another way. So I think for us, like, our time management is super important. We have so many deadlines. And I think another thing is, with my personal experience with going through the conversion and everything, is remembering we all have 24 hours in a day. I felt like other people had so much more time than I had. And I did have to give up things. Like, I couldn't sit and look at Instagram on my phone all night. I couldn't, as much as I love my workouts, I work out pretty heavily several times a week. I was like, my job can't sit on the sideline. That has a deadline. It's important. And my schooling and the studying can't, like, it's just not going to happen. But okay, I'm going to have to delete social media because I have no self-control. And I have to, I had to just skip my workouts for a few months. And then just anything I could, like my house, I was like, this house is just falling apart. But when I talked to my HR manager, one of the things she said to me was, just remember, this is just temporary.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me all the time. This is just temporary. I'm going to get back to my workouts. I will clean this house when it's done and over with. All these extra hours and all the studying, it's not going to be my whole life. This is just for this time period, and it'll be.
That's true.
Yeah. So I really stuck with that. This is just temporary.
So, okay. So I'm hearing the common struggles, deadlines, being super busy, and distractions.
Yeah.
Right. Eliminate. And there's this a quote out there that resonates for me. It's, you focus on intention and ignore distractions.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? And you have to do whatever you have to do in order to ignore those distractions. I know that I can lay there and look at Instagram forever instead of looking at my flashcards that are sitting next to my bed. Like, I just deleted it from my phone because I know I'll keep picking it up and looking at it.
Wow. Yeah. We were just talking about that too, like getting just caught in things. And my oldest just finished, I have a 19-year-old as well. She just finished a coding program, and she said that she would give her phone to her professors, like, just take it. Just take it because I have to focus. So I was really proud of her for that. That was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you got to focus on the attention. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yep. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, I got caught up on what you were saying. You do payroll for multiple companies, so every day you're processing. And I do want to answer the question because this is a great contrast to what, right? PEO, right? Walter worked for a PEO before as well, and doing it for the company you work for. So you what does the week look like? It's every day. You're literally you're processing payroll every day.
So since we lost our payroll manager, I've taken over the lead position. So I really only process 2 payrolls right now, but I review everyone's work and I oversee the department.
How many in your
We have 6 processors plus myself, and then there's a couple other people that can also process should we need them to.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we do about 200 or so different payrolls. So then
Per
they're
week?
monthly. No, that's how many companies we have, but some are
Okay.
monthly, some are quarterly, semi-monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, some are bi-weekly 1 week, the other ones hit the next
Yep.
week. So
Bi-weekly on both
every day,
Fridays. Yep.
yeah, every day we have, every processor has so many payrolls they've got to get done. Most of ours are a Friday payroll, but we do
Yep.
have ones that are payroll on Wednesday
Yeah.
and payroll on Thursday.
Yep.
So we try to always do 2 days in advance. So on Monday, we're doing those Wednesdays. On Tuesdays, we're doing those Thursdays. Come Thursday and Friday, it pretty much slows down. We don't have as much. So then it's time that we can reach out to clients with other issues they had, or any tax notice or anything else. Client wants to make changes of stuff. That's finally when we have time to focus on those other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm always like, what are other people doing?
No, the same things. I was just going to say, so we do the same things. That's when you're not processing payroll, you have to do the other things. You have to be customer service. You have to follow up on the issues. We usually have reports to deliver internally to our stakeholders, right? Or to department heads or whoever wants what report on whatever that comes from payroll. So we usually have deliverables to meet after every payroll. We should be reconciling payrolls and keeping it honest and looking for, like we've talked about on the show, ghost employees, right? If you're being proactive about audit.
You know, I never heard of that before until on the show. And
Really?
I told someone else about it today.
Wow.
Because I don't do payroll for my own company. We're doing it for all these other, and most of them are small companies. I mean, we have payrolls that there's one person, one owner on the payroll, and that's it. We have some that have a couple hundred, but most of ours are like 10 to 20 employees. It would be noticeable. It would be very noticeable if all of a sudden they had someone different on their payroll.
Yeah.
But if there was somebody there, do you all call it out, or is that not your place? You just.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Business. We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Process what they say to process.
So we're pretty old school in things where for the most part, the owner will email us and say, here's the W-4 for my new employee. This is the pay rate. Please add them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would jump out. Hey, this is not okay. Okay, that's fair.
We have some clients that do their own data entry, but for the most part, we do it ourselves. Going from the one software to the new one was a big change for a lot of our clients. Our old software, we used CyberPay before. I don't know if you've heard of CyberPay.
No.
We still printed. We had lots of mom and pop places that didn't want direct deposit, didn't want us to impound taxes. They wanted to call you in the hours at 8 a.m. and they wanted to have the checks ready to go at 10 o'clock.
Wow.
And we printed them out and had them there for them. So we moved to ADP. That was our new software. And it's like, no, that's not an option anymore. If you want checks, they're going to overnight them to you, or you need to figure out how you're going to print them. So it was a big change for a lot of our clients. And some struggled with that. A lot of them they want the hand holding.
Yeah, especially if they were used to it. Now, how much of the cycle are you guys responsible for? Well, I mean, the whole thing, but what else? Are there any things in addition that you offer their clients for? Do you do any reporting for them? Any GL things? Or do you file the taxes for them for the payroll? Or is ADP doing that now?
So we do the GL reports. ADP will do the quarterlies now, which is a relief for us.
That's right.
We did everything. So that whole month after the end of the quarter, we all had these, called them yellow cards. You had to reconcile everything. You had all the forms. You did everything, and most of them we would email to the clients. We did everything. It was quite a show that we had, and now ADP does it. That's great.
Yes, people.
I'm
Yeah,
people worried that I'm going to lose some skill that I had because I don't
double check them.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to train staff, right? Because you know
Right.
what, you have the work there already, but you can use it to, hey, can you calculate and get to the same place?
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
A big thing that I train on if I have a junior is, can you calculate gross to net? Because there are a lot of
Right.
payroll folk that can't do that manually. You should be able to do it manually.
Yeah. We
And
love that the softwares can do those things for us.
right, it's great that they can do it, but what me and what we're just talking about, business continuity, right? And what if you can't press a button? What if you have to, and with your clients is probably more realistic. If you have somebody with 5 clients, right, or 5 employees, hey, the system is down, electricity's down, everything's down, I can't calculate. No, you got to get my people paid. How are you going to
Right.
calculate? How are you going to get those people paid if you can't turn on anything?
Right.
Right?
Right.
You got to either run the last payroll if you can, go off of that last batch,
Right.
right?
And
That last,
adjust next time.
and
Yeah.
adjust next time, or you got to manually calculate. But what if it's different hours? What if it's all hourly people?
Yeah.
When that, you know what I mean? So folks have to
We
be
have a
able to
lot of
do it.
all hourly. Yeah. Like the
Yeah,
restaurants, the
yeah,
tips. Yeah.
exactly. So don't be afraid. If you want to stay sharp, you can always keep ADP honest. And I actually urge you to do that. Any vendor
Yeah.
that you have, keep them honest, because they mess up too. They have,
Yeah. That's great advice.
yeah, they're not perfect either. And a lot of times, and their execution is based on how the client is setting everything up, right? So it's, oh crap, we forgot to add this state. They're not filing for the state. Not their fault. They don't even know you're in the state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
We've had some adjustments where we did things a certain way in our old software, and ADP can't do things that way in their software.
yeah,
It's trying to find these balances. Well, then how are we going to do it? Because this is the way it needs to be done. And yeah,
yeah, that does happen as well.
we don't have the ability to manipulate stuff the way we could before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Lindsay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with the transition from your old system to ADP, do you feel like that had a positive effect on your time management?
I think so. Yeah. It was rough going through it, but I do think it taught me a lot.
Okay.
I didn't go to college. I was a young mom. I got married when I was 20 and had my kids in my early 20s, and I just did different jobs here and there. And it taught me a lot that I was capable of doing. I didn't know that I was capable of that. So it was pretty awesome to be like, I did this. I accomplished this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
I don't want to do it again.
So I'll take the other side of that coin there. Well, how does a payroll person suffer if they don't? How does it impact them if you're not applying time management skills as a payroll professional?
Yeah. So I thought about that, and because of how we are, where we do all these different clients, each processor is assigned certain clients. They're in charge of these clients. So if they go on vacation, they've got to prep everything for someone else. The payroll doesn't just wait until they come back. We still have to do those payrolls. Yeah.
Right.
So, it's a big deal to go on vacation, and you want to set up the person that's going to be doing your work for you the best you possibly can, because I want you to go on vacation. I don't want you to have to open your laptop or to do anything. I want you to check out for the week. So, you really have to prepare ahead of time and plan everything, have every note. We use what we call packaging sheets, like a control sheet for each payroll that has details for each payroll on it. I'm like, you need to make sure that is up to date. Everyone's different. One company might be like, hey, the insurance only comes out the first payroll of the month.
That's right.
And this one here, hey, make sure this deduction only comes out the first 4 checks of the month. And if there's a 5th week, don't let it come out. And you've got to have everything very clear so that whoever's taking over for you for that week can accomplish your payrolls.
I like what you just said there. So you have all these different companies. How do you keep a track? If I heard you right, you have what's called a package sheet or
packaging sheet. Yeah.
Packaging sheet. What is that? Is that, if I heard it right, it's all the little nuances for each company?
So the top of it,
like
will have the client name, the ID that's in ADP, the phone number, address, the contact person, phone, everything. And then we have notes, like anything specific. Okay, there's live check source. How does this client get the live checks? Like, we need to know that. Is that set up correctly? They have retirement. Do we pay the retirement for them, or do they handle the retirement themselves? There's deductions here. Who's handling and paying those deductions? Is ADP sending a check in? Is the client wanting to do that? People want to do things their own way. So we have different things. We're in Pennsylvania. We have the local tax and the LST, the local service tax. How much is this client's local service tax? Some people are $10 a year. Some people have nothing. Most of us are $52 a year we pay. So if you're weekly, it's $1 a week. If you're biweekly, it's $2 every pay. You know, what does this client have so we can make sure that's coming off correctly? And I have it all, we have it all the way down, like every little detail for that client is on there. So if someone else gets that payroll, they can just pick up that payroll and they should be able to check off every step that they did it and it's processed. Scan your document, your work papers in, or if you're supposed to have it reviewed, make sure it's reviewed first, scan your documentation in. Yeah. And then every payroll, when you're done, you should print out a new one for next week and file that so that the next week you need the payroll, you have that.
Do you have everything digitally as well?
Yeah, everything. Okay. Some people, most of us, I think, are still paper pen kind of people. Everything gets scanned in. Everything's in the computer. If someone works from home, then you're using Adobe and marking everything off that way. And everything is saved. All the packaging sheets are where everyone can get them. So Lindsay's on vacation this week. Here's all Lindsay's packaging sheets for her client.
I love it. Yeah. You're speaking the gospel. I love it.
Yeah.
And just like you,
something we always did that. So when we merged to ADP with some other staff members in our firm that were already using it, they didn't use that, and I've had to get them on board. And there's been a little resistance, and I'm like, well, okay, you do this payroll, and what do you know to do? How do you know how to do this payroll? It's not just everyone's salary, and it's the same thing every week. But there's just all those little things that you don't know about until you see that.
Yeah,
they've gotten on board.
And we said it before we started recording. Even if you still love paper, you got to scan it in. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Even if there's nothing greater than if someone says, "Oh, you paid my person wrong," to be able to pull that documentation back out.
That's right.
Look what you wrote on there.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yep. And even if you made me think of, even if you know it all in your head, I just know what to do. That's great. But how does the next person know what to do?
Yeah. And that's something I want. So right now, everyone has their own client, but I want a second person to be very familiar with every client.
Cross-train.
There's times that when I had my own packaging sheets before, I'm like, they're great. And then someone else would do it and they'd question something. I'm like, oh, I guess I should have that on there. I just knew it. I just knew to do that certain thing. And I didn't think of writing it on there. So it is handy to have someone else process your payroll every now and then just to catch those little things.
Yes. And I often, even when getting ourselves together, right, like just trying to get organized, I try to think, okay, I'm going to train somebody to do my job, because that puts me in a mode where even if it's just an imaginary person, right, I'm going to train. I have to pass this off. That gets me out of the weeds, helps me get organized, because then I can, okay, how would I hand this off? Does this even make sense? And it helps me get organized.
Somebody left, somebody quit, someone got fired. All of a sudden, someone else has to take over all that work. So it should be in the best condition that someone else that we can just pick up and not skip a beat.
Yep. And it's huge. And you'd be surprised how challenging it is for companies to this day that just still, but especially when you got a company that grows really fast. Sounds like you guys had, right, like this little spurt of growth and it's improved technology, and these things happen so fast, and you get stuck in your ways. And really applying these time management skills, getting organized. If you're a payroll person, you can't exist without time management, right? And it's forced on you. You have deadlines. It's like it's forced on you. And that's
not a far out deadline. It's an everyday deadline.
Yeah, it's
you
tomorrow.
have to accomplish it all the time.
Yes, yeah. And you can build, if you like building schedules and you like using the planners, you can absolutely build to it. And you're right. I've just actually been applying some time management stuff and like trying to block out times to be intentional about doing things, because
Yes.
it's so much. And if you're not, right, and if you don't block out these times and schedule the things that you do, you can easily get caught up in the day-to-day fires that just
Yeah.
is a fire all the time, and then it just needs to be put
Yes.
out, and then you never get to what you should be because you weren't intentional about planning it and scheduling it. So I
Right. I'm doing
appreciate
that
that.
all summer. I've now been tasked with, hey, you need to come up with our standard operating procedures for payroll. We need to have all this. Yeah, so I've been putting on my calendar, blocking out times. Okay, for an hour today, I'm going to work on this particular area, and I'm going to
Yep.
work on this. I don't really know what it all looks like. I just know how I want each area to look,
There you go.
and just typing everything up and putting it all on the computer. And
Yep.
once I have it all up, then I'll make it look pretty. And yeah, so I just keep putting it on my calendar, and I'm like, that's my time to work on this now.
Yeah.
And I'm not a planner person. I don't use planners typically. I just couldn't figure out another way to do it unless I really had planned it out.
Yeah, you have to.
Temporary. I was a temporary planner person.
It looks like you've grown into it very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you are really thriving with it. That's awesome.
So what do you think a common misconception is regarding time management, Lindsay?
Hello, this is Michael Vandervoort from the Drive Through HR podcast, where we discuss ideas, trends, and activities that impact HR, talent, HR technology in the workplace. Our focus is on expanding knowledge and igniting curiosity as we hear directly from people who are shaping the future of the HR industry. Join us.
A misconception regarding time management. I think I said this before, it's that someone else has more time than you do. That you just don't have enough time. You do, it's how are you going to use the time that you have?
Yep. How do you use the time, right?
Yeah.
I think it goes, and I want to know what you both think about this. So you can waste time by actually, like, say you're trying to figure something out and you need an answer that you don't know. And instead of thinking to go to my manager, so instead of me coming to you as an employee, as your employee, Lindsay, I'm just like rummaging around and looking for an answer, wasting time that way, instead of going to someone who may know the answer for me.
Right.
And that would be a time that I could, that's time management as well, right? If I can go to the source and say, hey, boss, what do I need to do in order to answer this? I'm having trouble with this, right?
I've struggled with that too in the past. I remember a review of mine several years ago that basically encouraging me to do more research versus coming to someone for the answer. And I felt every day I had so much work to do. And I was like, I don't have a half an hour to spend researching this when I know someone has the answer.
Yeah.
But it did teach me that there were times I could have done more research and not gone to someone. And it has helped me in that skill. And I have encouraged other people in that area. But yeah, I definitely don't want to sit there when I have so much work to do and be researching something that I know someone else can help me with.
Yeah. It is a tough question, because I thought about right away, Walt, when you said that, I thought about, well, you learn it better when you're doing the research yourself, right? When you go and you have to go through that pain of finding it out. But at the same point, Lindsay, you don't always have the time to do it. So I think the happy medium is, let me, how I got 5-10 minutes. Can I find this answer in 5 to 10 minutes in the time that I can give myself, right? And maybe, and that's the thing about payroll, folks, like we got to know where to go look, right? And that's what I try to teach folks. You don't have to know all this stuff by heart. There's no way you're going to ever know all of it by heart. You have to know where to go find the answer.
Right.
That's the part you got to know quickly, right?
And you have to know there's an answer out there. Like,
I
might not know it, but I'm like, but wait, I know there's something to do with this. Let me start looking.
Yeah. And I think that will cut down your research time. It cuts down your time because you know where to go look. You know what to trust, you know what to get. But I think is that the answer, Walt, is like, it depends, because, right? It's how long is this going to take me versus how quickly do I really need this answer? How, as if,
because you could say, hey, can you tell me where to start? Where
Yes.
do I start? And
Where
I'll pick up the
that's a good
research
one.
from
I
there.
like that.
It,
I like
it,
that.
var-
And
it, it varies, right? Because not every day is going to be the same. The system may be running slow today. Something may be down today, and if so, it varies. Like you said, Brian, you have to know when to, hey, put a fork in it and say, hey, I need to go get this answer from my boss, or I need to come back to it if I can.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's times you're like, I spent entirely way too much time looking this up. It's time to be done. Someone else take over, help me out.
I think it's payroll driven as well, right? Because if we have a payroll on the line, right?
Yeah.
It's what are you just curious, or do you need to get payroll done? And I think your bosses, whoever you should go to, should understand that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
okay, I'm going to give you this answer now, but I need you to follow up on
Right.
this site. Go do the go brush up on it. And that's the opportunities for payroll folks to say, look, okay, I'll get you through this payroll, but let's follow up. Let's do some training.
You're never going to grow if someone always gives you the answer.
Exactly. You have to feel the pain sometimes.
Brian is infamous for that. When we first worked together, people would go into Brian's office. His employees would go in there. He was like, nope, go back out and until you find the answer for me. He wouldn't be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I pull people over. I'm like, okay, come sit with me. All right, I'm gonna make you think about this. I know the answer and I can tell you it, but let's do some constructive thinking here. I want to kind of ask questions to make them think a little harder about it.
Yeah.
I tell people up front, hey, look, write this down.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you this later. Yes. Write it down. These are notes. These are good notes. I love technology today because we can record things now, and we can look back and we can circle back. We just had I don't know if you've seen any shows with Fran yet.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a private pod with Fran because we needed work advice from her, and we recorded it. Yeah, it was amazing. I'm gonna snippet some stuff she said because of course she dropped some gems for us, but we did she gave us a private course and lesson, and we recorded it so that me and Walt could go back and write notes and stuff like that and get prepared. Because
that's awesome. I was just telling Brian before we started that I was just listening to the Melissa episode about the sports one, and Walt offered her services out to anyone that needed help. So that's nice that Fran did that. Yeah, I don't want anyone struggling and not able to figure something out. Yeah,
she loves talking about this. It just comes so natural. I call her Guru Fran. She's awesome with it. I was
discussing her at work today, the whole bankruptcy situation with someone else. I'm like, you just don't ever think about that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, exactly right. So to wrap it up, what we always like to ask of folks is what kind of advice would you give to another payroll professional, just as time management in general, payroll tip, whatever comes to mind?
I would definitely say find a mentor. Find someone that is, in the same department as you, another payroll person that is doing well, has been doing it for a while. That my payroll manager, she was the only other CPP that I knew. So I went to her and asked her advice, and I just very much looked up to her and appreciated her knowledge. And she was always one of those managers that was open to new ideas, and it wasn't like, this is how we do it, it has to stay this way. So I definitely say, find someone that's a mentor to you, find someone that you can look up to and learn from them, and plan things out each day of the week, what you need to do. You're not going to have all the time in the world. You can only accomplish so much, but do your best to just schedule it in your week so that you can't overwhelm yourself. So you can't do it all. You can only do what you can do, but just know that you can do more than you think you can do.
That's right. It's a very consistent theme with today. We definitely could do more than we think we can. Yeah. Have to push it. Thank you for that.
We're
very
capable.
Much. That's right. Especially payroll folk. We always pull that up. We pull out that extra steam when needed. We just had a conversation with a gentleman, Adrian Resto, and you'll get there eventually. He's really good. Just passion for payroll and kind of this along the same vein. So I'm loving the energy that we're coming across, right, with payroll people. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. Anything else, Walt, before we go?
Nope. I learned a lot of different stuff from Lindsay. She dropped a lot of good points and nuggets. I think I'm not going to offer up her services to anybody. I'm going to do
Well,
that.
no, you should, right? We'll offer that she works for an accounting firm. They take on new
I
clients.
do.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
Look her up, Lindsay Grady.
Yes, CPP.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm a fan. I found you
thank you
guys
very
while I
much.
was going through all of this conversion and schooling and studying. And when I was I'm not even a really big podcast listener. I just was like, there's got to be something out there payroll wise to help when I was driving to work and home from work to keep me in that mind frame for studying for the exam. And I would hear little things you guys would say every now and then. I'm like, oh, I remember learning about that. But it helped me like keep in the right mind frame, but I wasn't actually studying.
Amazing. I love it.
A group of payroll buddies. So it's nice to have a conversation.
That's great. Heck yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, it literally gives us purpose. Literally, this is what we do it for. We thank you so much. So again, thank you, folks. Thank you, Lindsay. I hope to have you back again. And we'd love to, you're a natural. We'd love to have you back again if you're interested.
Oh, great. I loved it. I had a great time. My first ever podcast. So
awesome.
I was a little nervous.
Oh, no, you did great. You did great.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you, folks. Till the next show. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Walt. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you for tuning in to It's About Payroll. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.